Hello everyone, I am James and welcome to episode 3 of the OpenGL tutorial series. Today we're going to be doing code refactoring. Our code is not too bad, however if we keep on going in this way, we'll end up with an authentic spaghetti bolognese instead of good, readable and scalable code. So let's begin.
The first thing we'll refactor is the window. I'll start by creating a class which I'll call window. I'm going to make the constructor take in the width, height and title. Now I'll grab the window initialization code and move it in the window constructor. I'll make the window and context variables members of the class. I'll be changing all members to begin with m underscore. Now we'll pass the width, height and title parameters to the STL create window function instead of hard coding them. Let's do the destructor now. These are the two calls we need in the destructor. The last thing we'll need in the window class is a function to swap the buffers. I'll move the STL/GL swap window call here. Now to use the window, we'll initialize it here and we'll call the swap buffers method right here.
If we run right now, there we go, the same result.
Now it's time to refactor the mesh. I'll begin by creating a class called mesh. I'll move this code in the mesh constructor. I'll make both the VAOID and the VBOID members of the class. Instead of hard coding the vertex data, I'll pass in a void pointer for the vertex data. Something we forgot to do in the last video is to destroy the VAO and the VBO at the end. So let's do that right here in the destructor. Both functions take two parameters. The first one is how many instances we want to delete. In our case, 1. The second parameter is a pointer to the array of instances, or in our case, a single instance. I almost forgot to add these calls to the constructor. Finally, let's add a draw method in our mesh class. The first thing we're going to do in the method is bind the vertex array again. This is because we'll have multiple mesh instances in the future, and when drawing a mesh, we need to make sure that its vertex array is bound. Now we'll move the GL draw arrays call into the draw method. Let's fix some things I messed up in the constructor. First of all, I'm going to use the vector class, so let's import it. Instead of taking in a void pointer for the vertices, I'll take in a vector of GL and vec3. In the future, vertices will have other data apart from the position. I also renamed the parameter to vertices. In the GL buffer data call, we need a raw pointer to the vertex data. We can easily obtain this by calling the data method on the vector. Now I'll move the hard-coded vertices back to the main function. I'll change the stack allocated array to a vector. Now we can create an instance of a mesh passing the vertices in the constructor. Finally, we'll call the draw method just before we swap the buffers.
And now if we run, there you go, it still works. Awesome. So I grabbed the window and mesh class and put them in their files. I've put the declarations in the header files and the definitions are in the CPP files. So I made a few mistakes. First of all, in the GL buffer data call, I hard coded 3. This should be the vertices dot size. The second thing, I also hard coded 3 in the GL draw arrays function. I actually want to keep track of how many vertices we have. So I'm going to add another field called mVertexCount, and I'm going to set mVertexCount to vertices dot size, and I'll use mVertexCount right here. Okay, we're done refactoring. In the next video, we'll finally touch on shaders. Yes, shaders. Thanks a lot for watching. If you want to be notified when the next video is coming out, please consider subscribing and hitting the notification bell. And with that, yeah, that's it. Thanks a lot for watching and goodbye.